Chapter 1: The Emotional Divide. The neon-soaked streets of Neo-Tokyo pulsed with a frenetic energy, a stark contrast to the desolate alleyways that snaked through the city's underbelly. Here, in the forgotten corners, Maya navigated the shadowy maze, her footsteps muffled by the ambient hum of the metropolis. As an emotion hacker, she had learned to move with a predatory grace, her senses attuned to the subtle fluctuations in the emotional currents that ebbed and flowed around her. Tonight, Maya's mission was simple, yet bold, to illegally transfer a rare emotion from a wealthy client to a desperate recipient. It was a dangerous game, fraught with risk, but the rewards, both financial and personal, were too tempting to resist. Her fingers danced across the sleek interface of her emotion transfer device, the faint blue glow casting an ethereal light over her features. "All right, Finn," Maya murmured into her comlink. "I'm in position. Give me the signal when you've breached the firewall." A crackle of static preceded her partner's response. "Copy that. I'm in. Let's do this." Maya took a deep, steadying breath, her heart pounding in anticipation. This was the moment she lived for, the thrill of pushing the boundaries of what was considered possible. With a few deft keystrokes, she initiated the emotion transfer, her mind hyper-focused on the delicate task at hand. Across the city, a wealthy businessman sat in his lavishly appointed penthouse, oblivious to the illicit transaction taking place. His brow furrowed briefly as a subtle shift in his emotional state registered, but the sensation quickly faded, replaced by a sense of complacent indifference. Maya's lips curled into a satisfied smile as she witnessed the successful transfer. "Got it? Sending the payment now." "Nicely done," Finn replied. "I'll start covering our tracks." As Maya made her way back through the winding alleyways, she couldn't help but reflect on the stark contrast between the world she inhabited and the privileged lives of the emotion-rich elite. It was a divide that had only grown more pronounced in the years since emotion transfer technology had taken hold, transforming society and shaping the very fabric of daily life. For the fortunate few, emotions had become a commodity to be collected and displayed, a means of asserting social status and power. The wealthy hoarded rare and exotic feelings, trading them like stocks on a volatile market. Meanwhile, the impoverished masses struggled to afford even the most basic emotional experiences, their lives reduced to a numbing monotony of dull, muted sensations. Maya clenched her fist, the weight of her own emotional deprivation bearing down on her. She had grown up in the shadow of her sister, Nora, a member of the privileged class who had never known the sting of loneliness or the despair of hopelessness. Their paths had diverged long ago, Maya descending into the darkened underbelly of the city, while Nora ascended into the gleaming towers, her heart hardening with each acquisition of a new, coveted emotion. The sound of footsteps behind her snapped Maya back to the present, and she quickened her pace, slipping into the shadows. Her client's payment had been secured, but the risk of being caught was always present. As she navigated the maze of alleyways, she couldn't shake the nagging sense that something was amiss, a premonition of a brewing storm on the horizon. Reaching the safety of her hideout, Maya flopped onto an old, worn-out couch, her mind churning with thoughts of the future. The emotion trade had become a cancer, infecting every aspect of society, and she couldn't help but wonder how long the fragile equilibrium could be maintained. Somewhere out there, the powerful figures who controlled the flow of emotions were undoubtedly tightening their grip, wary of any disruption to their carefully curated system. Maya's eyes drifted to a battered holographic display, its flickering surface revealing the latest news reports. The headlines painted a grim picture of growing civil unrest, protests erupting in the streets as the marginalized fought against their emotional deprivation. Rumors of a mysterious resistance movement, whispers of a plan to disrupt the emotion trade, had begun to circulate, fueling both hope and fear among the disenchanted masses. As Maya watched the images of the clashes unfold, a spark of determination ignited within her. Perhaps, amid the chaos, there was an opportunity to make a difference, to fight back against the systemic inequality that had defined her existence. Her fingers instinctively reached for her emotion transfer device, its familiar weight a reassuring presence in her hand. The device blinked to life, and Maya's eyes narrowed as a cryptic message appeared on the screen. a set of coordinates, and a single word, vault. A chill ran down her spine, and she glanced around the dimly lit room, half expecting to see a shadowy figure emerge from the corners. But the space remained silent, save for the gentle hum of the holographic display. "Finn," Maya called out, her voice barely above a whisper. "We've got a situation. I think I've found something big."